Well, Clark Stork here with Golf Saskatchewan. A pleasure to be joined by Darcy McLeod, Director of Leisure Services in the City of Yorkton, and Mayor Mitch Hippsley in Yorkton. I think it was January 31st, Council went ahead with the great news, you guys. The city is going to build a $7.6 million clubhouse to be at Deer Park and really push this amazing golf course into the upper echelon of Saskatchewan and Western Canada. I know you guys are very excited. I'll start with you, Mayor Hippsley. I guess you were very vocal and for this project. Talk about council's decision and how excited you are going forward.
Well, I know it's an overused word calling we're excited as I'll just start off this way by saying that this is a long overdue project. It's the oldest rec facility we have in the city of Yorkton, and it's extremely well used. We have a real gem of a golf course. I don't have to tell too many people that. And the oddity to what I'm saying here is that I'm not a golfer, but I am by trade a small business person. So I come to the table with that in mind. It's a phenomenal facility that we have, and now we're going to polish it by putting the proper facility in for all the users. And I know that we'll become the new kid on the block, and I don't know if that's going to last 5 years or 10 years or 15 years, but the point is that it's going to be a real big draw to the city. It's going to also draw industry, because they look for the amenities, and we poll these people that come to town. Why did you come here? And they actually say things like that. They say, well, it's the amenities of the Gallagher Center or the golf course or whatever they are pulled towards. So it's a huge drawing card. This isn't really, oddly enough, in my perspective, it's not only about golfers or non-golfers. This is really all about marketing the city of Yorkton and giving people more reason to come here.
It's going to go well with the Gallagher Center, and it opens up so many more options for what you guys can do at this facility, whether as you continue to grow and get the word out there.
Yeah, I mean, and we're very fortunate because, I mean, again, it's the same old story. When you've got something in your own backyard, you take it for granted, and then it takes out of town people come in and go, wow, look at you, look what you got. And I think our own city needs to be reminded of what we've got. It's right in the city, and it's extremely reasonable rates, and it's a real pretty kind of paradise, so to speak. I come to the table also as a photographer, so from a scenic perspective, it's gorgeous. It's just downright gorgeous and been so well taken care of. We're so lucky to have some really good committees that are nonprofit organizations that all they want to do is help and beautify the golf course and contribute and give us direction. And they've proven that many times over. I mean, Darcy can fill us in on details of what they've done in the last 5 years alone, so.
Yeah, Darcy, we will step on into your avenue a little bit here. The logistics of the building, and Mitch kind of talked about how long this has been going on, and you've been in your position longer than Mitch has been mayor. But I guess it's been a long going issue. It's great that you guys are moving ahead, and from your avenue, in your department, talk about the importance of this announcement.
Well, for us, it's anybody who's been at the golf course would know that the clubhouse is very old, and I mean, it has multiple additions to it that are still, even the additions are still the older part of facilities in Yorkton as well. So we're going back into the 60s and prior to the 60s. The original building is, I think, even a bit older than that. It's hard for us to even find dates because it predates a lot of the record keeping that was done. So for us, it comes down to managing our assets essentially. So this is the rec facility that was in the worst state or worst condition of all the other rec facilities. We've got some others that need some attention, and council will be looking at that as part of their capital budget as well. But that's a big thing for us. We dealt with numerous maintenance issues over the years. Anybody who's been there, if you had to go to the washroom, you had to go down the stairs, so it wasn't wheelchair accessible at all. We've had issues with water in the basement, unfortunate septic in the basement as well. And so it was overdue, well overdue. We've made some improvements, but at the end of the day, the money we kept putting into it just to keep it going just didn't make sense. So, building a new clubhouse there, yeah, I have to agree with the mayor. It's a beautiful course. We know it's a beautiful course. We know people know it's a beautiful course as well, and we want to keep it that way. It's the one thing that was missing from the course was a clubhouse. And I've had people tell me that you don't come to the golf course to sit in the clubhouse. You come for the golf course, and that's true. But at the end of the day, if you don't have a place like this for people to meet and to start and to end their rounds, it is an attraction. It will hopefully attract people to the course in the future as well.
Yeah, it's incredibly important from a golf avenue. It adds to it for sure. Most beautiful golf courses have a beautiful place to sit and have a bite to eat after and whatnot. when it comes to projects like this, the number one thing is, especially for taxpayers, the money, right? $7.6 million. It seems high, but this building is going to last, another 50, 60 years. And by then, that 7.6 is going to feel very minuscule, I would think. It's go big or go home, right? Kind of thinking.
Well, I don't even think it's gone big. It's actually essentially just replacing what we have. Yeah, there's a few, a couple, but I think it's 2,000 square feet bigger than the old one. But the old one didn't have an entry hallway. This one's going to have an entry hallway. The old one's, the washrooms are really small. These washrooms will be at least modern standard. You're not squished in them. And prep areas in the kitchen, which we didn't have. A little bit, the dining we were always squeezed in. So dining is just a little bit bigger, not a whole lot. It's hardly going to be noticeable, I don't think. But at the end of the day, it is important to have these things. And I think that, we're quite lucky. It's a lot of money, but I don't know many things that don't cost a lot of money. And so, budget is an unfortunate part of every project that taxpayers have. And so, it is a lot of money, but it's definitely not, it's not a grandiose floor plan or scale by any means. It's going to look nice because it has to look nice in a beautiful natural environment, but it's not. We actually could have gone bigger, and council chose not to go bigger. We chose to actually keep it to the size, replace what we have, because essentially that was the mindset. We need to replace what we have. We don't need to build bigger than what we have. We just replace what we have. So the seating is the same for the seating as what it is right now. Essentially, it's dining. It's a combined interior dining area, exterior dining area, or covered interior and interior dining for 200 people. So it's about the same as what it is now. You can get 200 people at the golf course right now, but you are squished, and you're actually having to sit outside on the deck in order to fit that last 40 people in. So essentially we've got the interior area and the covered deck area that will accommodate 200. So it's not much bigger than what we have now.
For sure. I just, on the weekend, I was out with my kid at a hockey event and met with the lady who ran Watson's McNabb Regional 9-hole golf course. She was just saying how unbelievable golf is right now. They were up almost $100,000 in net profits from one year to another. I'm hoping it's the same with Deer Park, but right now is an incredible time to invest in golf for sure, because the course is jam-packed, the tee sheet's full, morning to night. And what a way it's going to hopefully stay that way for, years in the future. That's kind of Golf Saskatchewan's job. But how great to pick up when the sport is really as popular as it is. Yeah, and say what you want about COVID. And one thing it did for us was increase our rounds at the golf course, because people had to stay home and they were looking for things to do. And so, we'd really like to put a lot more people through there. We have a capacity for a significantly higher number of rounds. But at the same time, this is the highest number of rounds that we've had at our little golf course. And say it's little, but it's on eastern side of Saskatchewan. We have, late springs, early falls, our days are shorter. And so we try to squeeze in more into that short time frame. But at the end of the day, we have I think it was 15 rounds short of 20,000 rounds last year. So, that's the best year that we've had in my time. And I've been at the city for almost 25 years. So that's the best we've had. We sure have a lot more space than that. We've expanded the time between tee-offs, to, I think it's 10 minutes right now, from 7 to 10 minutes, because COVID required that. And we kept it actually because we had a really good favorable response from everybody. And so I think that's been a bonus for us as well. But yeah, we have room to grow, but at the end of the day, growth is good now. We just want to make sure we can sustain it. Speaking of feedback, what about you, Mayor Hippsley, since the announcement? Because I guess, being the face of the city, Darcy more to him, behind the scenes a little bit, but obviously, works hard. But, what's the feedback? And I'm sure there's been a little bit of naysayers, but I'm sure everyone's quite happy with just the growth of Yorkton. I remember when I lived there back in 2010, the mall parking lot was empty. You look at Yorkton now, it's booming, and this is just part of it.
It is, and cities on the grow. If we can look into our crystal ball, like I believe I have, it's on the grow. We're just on the cusp of moving ahead. We've got a real ag-based community or business center that's growing literally by the year, and so it's time again. We're just very fortunate right now that we're sort of recognizing that. And back to your question, we're getting the yays and nays, of course. Because I think the people who are non-golfers misunderstand the purpose of the of the clubhouse. And I keep reminding them, I don't golf. It's not about the golfers. It's about the city of Yorkton. I'm the mayor of the city of Yorkton, and this is my vision too. And, we pretty much have all of city council on board with this too. which says a lot. And there's only a couple golfers, correct me if I'm wrong, Darcy, on city council out of the whole bit. So I believe they get the gist of why we're even doing this. And also it's trending the right way with the usage, with the age demographics of the golfers, as well as the financial responsibilities, because we keep seeming to be going the right way as to maybe a cost break-even proposition, which we're working on right now. And I think with this coming into play, it's going to draw much more attention. We'll have a lot more tournaments and so on, and it'll help the bottom line substantially. Not to mention two other items. First one is that back in the day, maybe 10 years ago, correct me if I'm wrong, Darcy, but it's around that time frame, 10, 15, there was development that was looking very seriously at coming to the golf course. Well, we've never had potable water. If you can believe it, a 60-year-old course, we've never had potable water, and we've never had we've been using a septic tank. Well, this is part of the dollar amount that's being spent, and people need to know that. I mean, so now with that being put into place, it's almost shy of $1 million to put that in. We're going to have developers coming to the table, and some have contacted us and said, hey, we're kind of interested now, because now they don't have to put that infrastructure, and that's what scared them away the first time. So there's a lot of potential happening here in the next 5 to 10 years. And that's what it's all about. It's about growth and making people give more reasons to come here. So
yeah, beautiful home on a golf course for sure, right? Or
Yeah.
whether it's homes or multi hotels, whatever. Yeah, sorry, go ahead, Darcy.
Sorry, I was just going to add a couple of points, because I've been hearing it as well. I know, Mayor Mitch is the face of it for sure. But one of the things that we've been looking at as well is, in Saskatchewan, hockey's a big thing. Ice surfaces are a big thing, and so the question I get is, why is it not a hockey rink instead of the clubhouse? And what I tell people is, and Mayor Mitch said it exactly right. It's about the assets. It's about, if we're going to have a clubhouse, if we're going to have a golf course, we need a clubhouse. Well, we're going to have to invest in a clubhouse at some point. And it's been 60 years. No different than for hockey. If we're going to maintain 2 rinks, we need to make sure that we have them available. And like I said, council is going to be addressing some of those needs in their upcoming council or capital budget. So, at the end of the day, it's not about why them and not us. It's about, as a community, if we want these things in our community, we need to make sure they're sustainable and make sure we have them. If we don't need whatever it is, then why would we build it? But if we do need it, we should build it, make sure it's there. And so that's essentially the background, the basis for in my opinion anyways, the decision for council I'm not speaking for council, but for, the clubhouse. The rinks will have their day. They're going to have their day. They've had their day. Other facilities have as well. And Deer Park has always been the people saying, the golfers or whoever saying, what about us at some point? So it's not about what about us, it's about the community. And I can't agree more with what the mayor was saying about that. So that's some of the arguments that, we're having to field some of those calls as well. And that's what we say, it's not a sport versus sport thing. This is an asset thing. And the next thing up in our department is the arenas. And like I said, council has got a plan to deal with those.
We do.
A lot of people don't think, they think if you're golfing, yes, but it's another avenue for you to take your significant other out for dinner to celebrate a birthday with a beautiful view, because the restaurant there is going to hire an amazing chef, and you'll have great servers, and it can be a great night out, even if you don't own a set of golf clubs.
Yes, I do believe this is going to become a go-to place as well. And, the design element of the new clubhouse, the amenities is the way the decking is going to be played out. It'll be like a place you want to go to just to go hang out, even if you have a coffee. It'll become more than that, but it'll become an event center.
And sorry, I just wanted to add, Clark, sorry. I just wanted to add that, like, the clubhouse is situated, we're demolishing the old clubhouse and we're placing new one virtually on the same site, but we're giving it a bit of a twist to take advantage of the views. So as Mayor was talking about the views, and yourself about other people coming out there, there's beautiful views there we want to take advantage of. So the way the decking is going to be laid out is to take advantage of some of those really nice views.
Yeah, you mentioned the tournaments, the Canadian Junior Golf Association coming back to Saskatchewan for the first time since 2018, maybe 17, prior to my time with Golf Saskatchewan, which is going into its 4th year. So they're going to miss the new clubhouse, unfortunately, but they'll come host their event there just to play golf at your great course. But from Golf Saskatchewan and Golf Canada's vantage point, we have had many events there. The Future Links event was there a couple of years ago with golfers from as far wide as Toronto to Vancouver. But now imagine what you can get with this clubhouse clubhouse when Golf Canada comes back, saying, could you guys host this? And yeah, now they definitely can, especially once banquets are fully back and whatnot. We can't wait to get back to Yorkton.
Yeah, we've been fortunate, and actually, you know, we love to entertain people from across the province and across Canada. If they want to come to Yorkton, we'll do whatever we can to bring them here. And so, yeah, we've been, anytime, it's essentially been somebody reaches out to us and says, hey, we need a spot to host this. Are you interested? We always have said yes. We've never turned down anything like that. And our season pass holders and people who golf out there are very open to having those, and they volunteer for these events. They know how good it is for our community, not just our golf course. So yeah, we look forward to having that Canadian Junior tournament here this year. Yes, they're gonna have to work out some temporary traders for a bit, but at the end of the day, they were aware of that when they signed on. And so if we're happy to have them now, we're happy to have them back again in the future.
And we'll be back soon enough. Last word to you, Mayor Hippsley. Anything you just want to, add about this, groundbreaking announcement almost for your city?
Well, again, and back to what Darcy had said, it just so happened that the clubhouse came to the docket just a teensy bit ahead of the ice surfaces. So I'm just going to reiterate this, and the ice hockey needs are going to be addressed because that needs addressing, and city council is working on that right now. So no issues there. That's next on the docket. It's now. It's not like in a few years from now. And just wanted to comment on the fact that this will become an event center whereby maybe we're hope to run this 12 months out of the year. We have people that toboggan. There's a cross country ski club. It's going to have the charm and the draw. So even in something as simple as a 50th wedding anniversary, it'll be like a go-to place. I just want to quickly jump in and tell you about my past just a little bit. As a photographer, as I've worked all across Western Canada in different clubhouses at wedding events. And you walk in and you just go, wow, well, it's a go-to center in other centers. And when I walked into the Yorkton, when I went, wow, this is hurting, it's tired, put it that way. So this will become a place that people will want to come to for other reasons other than golfing as well. So to me, it's a win-win-win situation. And yeah, it's maybe a little too much money than we wanted to spend. We were hoping for less, of course, everyone is, but we can see the value in it. And we figured out how to do it without raising taxes. That's a huge plus in my mind. And it's the time to pull the trigger, so to speak.
Congratulations from Golf Saskatchewan on your guys' decision to go ahead. And as I've said, can't wait to get back out there. The course is great, and it's just it'll make it an elite Saskatchewan golf course and one in Western Canada for sure. Thanks for taking the time today, guys. It was great to learn more about the progress and the plans, and just can't wait to follow along.
Wow. Thanks, Clark.
Thank you very much, Clark. It was our pleasure. Thank you.